It doesn't take much for you to look at a YouTube video and go, look, I really want to try that, and you go purchase it. Or to go to a workshop only to discover that you need to buy the supplies and the tutor gives you the list, and you not only invest all your money in the supplies, but then you have to invest a lot of closet space to keep the supplies even though you're not using it. So I have a few thoughts about that, about how to declutter and not gather so many supplies that you don't use. So my first thought is that let's not try to purchase every kind of craft and arts creative supply out there. Let's just try to work on the ones that suit you. So my first thought is to really pay attention to what inspires you. If you look at a painting, you go, gee, that's really interesting, I wish I could do that. Do you watch a potter work and go, oh, I think I should try that? Do you watch somebody draw? Do you watch somebody sew and go, that's perfect for me? Did your grandma sew and so you want to learn? So just trying to investigate, where does your inspiration come from? Where is your curiosity? That's a really great place to begin to work out where you should invest your time. My next thought is that it is wonderful to go take some workshops. When you go to workshops, you are learning from the experts in that field, and they can tell you what materials, what products, what brands, where should you spend the money, where should you save, how can you cut the corners, what supplies do we have here in Australia? I find that a lot of people at the moment are jumping on YouTube and watching people work, which is wonderful. That's great that we live in this digital age. But here in Australia, we can't always access products that come from the US, that come from the UK. We can't efficiently ship them in either right now. And if we do, we usually pay 3 times the price. So by talking with people that are local and within Australia, going to work out what are the products we have here, but what's the quality like? So some workshops that you go to, they will give you a supplier list, and you need to go purchase these supplies to do the course. It's even better if you can find places that will let you, that will supply materials for you, that will let you use all the materials that you need. It means that you can try a range of brands, try a range of materials, try a range of approaches without physically investing in the product. And it's the product that costs us cupboard space. And you know, we all have lots of, a lot of sewers have all of these UFOs, unfinished objects around. And so we don't really want unused art supplies either, because that's a real waste, and some deteriorate over time. So if you can go to a workshop, or you can go and use somebody else's materials, that is an absolute winner. Okay, my next thought is that many arts and crafts shops have the tester, have the sample, and it's a bit like going into the pharmacy and you get to, you know, try a new moisturiser. Some art supply stores have testers, and they're calling out for you to test them. So Officeworks, although not exactly a craft supply store, will let you play with the Copic markers and or the pens. And so having that opportunity to play and to try is an excellent thing to do, because you can work out what feels good to you. What do you like? What feels good in your hand? What size do you like? Does that colour, is that the colour you want or not? If you're in the specialty shops, have a chat to the people in the store, because they are nearly always specialists in those areas, or they can point you in towards the right products. It doesn't work if you're in the dollar shop and you're not sure what to buy, because they're not the experts in the art world. But in the arts shops, they can help you with products and samples. Leading on from that, some of the supply stores have opportunities where you can come and watch and they'll do a demonstration. And so you can see an artist, sometimes if it's the rep, it's the person who supplies the product to the store, it's the rep will come in and will demonstrate the products, will allow you to have a play with them as well. It's your chance to ask questions and about how they work, like you can ask about how they work or if they're going to work for your need or your restrictions. So just that's a really great place to tap into some knowledge. The next thought I have is to pick and choose where you invest first. So if you're doing watercolour, maybe it is totally worth buying the brushes that are perfect for watercolour. But if you are doing acrylic paint, you can normally get away with a pretty average brush, but you need to buy the paint to go with it. So paper is another good one that you don't need to buy the brand of paper, you just need to look for the GSM or the grams per square metre for paper. It does of course depend, like if you're doing watercolour you should use watercolour paper for the best outcome, but just picking and choosing where to invest first is a really great way to slowly gather your supplies, and as you can afford, buy the next thing. I do think it is worth, once you've found what you like and you know where you want to invest, to go out and buy the quality. Yes, it will cost you in the short term, like that. Quality products are like that because they are the quality, they're the top line, but you normally use, you'd always use less of them. So if you went to buy the like the Daniel and the Daniel Smith watercolors versus maybe like the Reeves in the dollar store, there's a totally difference in quality, and the amount that you use is very different too. So depending on your purpose, great, both could be wonderful, but just trying to work out where do you sit is a really important thing to do. So they are my thoughts. Oh, my last thought. Okay, so my last thought is to be mindful of some trends. A few years ago, absolutely everybody was scrapbooking and they were going out to buy the Cricut cutters and the cutters to cut out, the die cutters to cut out pieces of paper. But 5 years on, only half or a third of those people that I know are still using those materials. It can be really hard at the time to know whether it's a fad or whether it's something that that's going to be a long-term thing for you. But it can be really good to, if you're not sure, to sit on it for a bit longer, or if the purpose is that it's going to fill the need that you need to, you want to scrapbook your memories, and that's totally worth the investment. But it's not worth it if you're just going there because your friend is buying one, you're not really sure, because it's just another product in your cupboard, in your stash that we could be using the products that are sitting there, not just letting them gather dust. So that is my little 2 cents worth on the consumerism aspect of arts and creative supplies, because we all gather. And often it's, I'll grab that, and I'll quickly try that. But the cost, yes, is a monetary cost, but it's also the cupboard that you don't have room for. And then when you go to make the item, whatever it might be, you've either lost the interest, the inspiration's gone, perhaps you can't even find it anymore because it's so buried within all of that stuff. Anyway, so they're my few thoughts on how to trying to find the supplies that sit with you. I have lots of tips coming your way. So if you find this video useful, beneficial, relevant to you at all, if you think your friends would find it beneficial, I would love it if you were to leave a comment, share it, leave me a message, have a chat with your friends when you go out for coffee. The more people that start to connect with their creative self, the better.